Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 175. I'm sorry it's late. It was supposed to be last Friday, but I had an appointment with my nail girl, okay? I got my nails done. See how purple they are? We call this Taco Bell purple. My nail girl, she's the best of the best. If you know her, good for you. Congratulations. If you don't, it's one of the best kept secrets. My nail girl, I'll tell you why she's a success. She used to be a whole... She was a bona fide, genuine, new guy. I mean, she would be running the block. I mean, she'll tell you. She's got stories. She is a reformed... And so that's my nail girl. We love her. She did my nails up right. I got my toes. Hey, of course my toes are the same matching color as my fingernails right now.
What are we doing?
So shout out to my nail tech, Knock. You know, if you know her, you know her well, and she's great. We love her. She does the nails. I stopped chewing them for 6 months, and then I'm inevitably back at the nasty habit. Listen, the Grammys were last night, and for those of you who are in the same boat as I am, I woke up this morning after witnessing the events and everything that went on last evening at said Grammys, and I just couldn't help but think to myself, this epiphany, this thought I had, this realization is that I don't even know what is a Grammy, dude? What is a Grammy? Can you explain it to me? Because if the people don't vote, there's no number requirements, I don't think. I'm pretty sure last year, Carlos over on the 280 Plus podcast, I'm pretty sure he just had the same conversation. Like the guy who won Rap Album of the Year versus all the other people who were nominated, the numbers were in the complete polar opposite of the fact that the guy who had the least amount of numbers when it comes to album sales and streams and views online is the one who won the Grammy.
What are we doing?
And so I'm just wondering, I woke up this morning yet again this year wondering, if you're telling me I can have 1 billion streams on my music and then inevitably not win the Grammy, you're telling me I can go on a complete world-renowned multi-billion-dollar, I gave everyone $100,000+ bonus this year, Eras Tour, dropped an album in the middle of it, but she didn't deserve a Grammy for it. Taylor Swift doesn't win, but some people we don't even know about or have even heard about before in the music industry are out here winning Grammys. So it's a situation where I had to find out. We figured it out. It's apparently there's 13,000. I think it's like 13,000 people from the music industry make up this conglomerate of the Grammys, and they all vote, and whatever they decide to vote on is who then inevitably gets the Grammys. It has nothing to do, I'm sure, that out of these 13,000 people, the majority of them take their time and they look at the numbers and they have a calculated vote. But at the end of the day, I don't necessarily understand how or why it works or what, because here's the thing. Here's the situation. Some of the winners, people will argue shouldn't have been winners, and some of the losers, some people would argue shouldn't have been the losers, i.e. this happens every year, of course, but this year was a bit interesting. So to start, listen, who let in Kanye West?
What are we doing?
Who told him it was okay for him to show up? At the end of the day, you know for a fact that when Kanye and his wife decided to go attempt to crash this year's Grammys because they weren't invited, their team told them, hey, maybe you weren't invited, you probably shouldn't go. And his exact response, Kanye West's exact response to his team telling him and his wife, you probably shouldn't show up without an invite was, bitch, I'm Kanye West. I'm going to the Grammys.
What are we doing?
And then he hit that button. And that's exactly, probably the interaction that exactly happened between Kanye West, his manager, and his publicist, who all told him, maybe you shouldn't go. But then he was like, bitch, I'm showing up naked. I've got my wife naked on the red carpet. Of course I'm going to the Grammys. What did you expect in 2025? Did you expect Kanye West not to fly all the way from Japan to California to go to the Grammys? Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he show up uninvited? It's Kanye West. And with what better news, he shows up with his wife completely naked. Thank God Kanye wasn't naked, but it's the same naked Kanye wife that we've seen now for like, what, the past year or two? Listen, how the fuck is Kim Kardashian supposed to explain? Because I'm pretty sure they were there. I'm pretty sure the Kardashians and the children were there at the Grammys. How is Kim Kardashian supposed to explain to her children that their father is also here, uninvited? And by the way, your stepmom's here, kids, and don't look, she's naked.
What are we doing?
How are you supposed to explain to your children that their father has arrived to the same event that they are attending, not only to appear with their stepmother naked? I mean, listen, it's a complete Jeff move. It's a complete my father move to a T. This is nothing new. Kanye West taking a page directly out of my father's playbook is a genius move. I didn't know they knew each other, but apparently they've talked at some point, because having your stepmother in Jeff and Kanye's reference, having your new wife, aka your children's stepmother, just be around them and being naked all the time is 100%, ask any of my close friends and relatives, they'll tell you, they'll testify to this, is 100% what my father did to us at just a prime age of 12 years old.
What are we doing?
So if Kim Kardashian needs any parenting advice, listen up right now, because I've been going through this since I was 12. At 12 years old, my father, in his infinite wisdom after divorcing my mother, went ahead and decided that it was 100% okay for him to parade around his wife in the nude, in the house, live, on the wall, everywhere we go. It's nothing but my stepmother's tiny little titties and her full bush of a vagina.
What are we doing?
I kid you not, if you were to walk into my house that my father raised us in from the years 2001 to 2010, for 9 years after he divorced my lovely mother, he subjected us to the naked image of my stepmother just nonstop, 24/7. She would walk around the house naked in front of us children. There would be canvas prints of her standing on the beaches of the Dominican Republic, fully blown frontal naked, just straight up from head to toe, naked on the beach in a 12 by 48-inch canvas, just posted up in the hallway of our childhood home.
What are we doing?
There were sculptures and cast figures of my stepmother's naked pregnant body with my inevitable future brother on the wall. There are photos. There are live actions. So being subjected to your stepmom's naked body is something that I have extreme emotional damage from. It's okay. I'm in therapy now. 30 years later, I'm finally dealing with the internal and emotional damages of what my father put us through after the divorce.
What are we doing?
But it's fine, because Kim Kardashian, this is the ultimate advice. Unfortunately, until they inevitably split, the Kanye and the new wife, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon, because as long as she continues to agree to put her full frontal naked body on display for not only the public, but your children, North and Saint, and all the other Kardashian, Kanye West children are going to continue seeing the titties of their stepmother for the foreseeable future until they inevitably split, which they probably won't. You're just going to have to deal with it, babe, because there's nothing you can do. Do you think there was anything Sandy Dunkel could do from us seeing the canvas prints in the hallway? They were naked canvas prints of my stepmother all over the house because it's art. And my father has what now is appeared to be a sexually frustrated man to the point where he had to keep full frontal nude photos of our stepmom and requiring her to walk around the house naked 24/7. My dad's Kanye West.
What are we doing?
I'm not saying my father is Kanye West, but I'm saying they move alike in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? I don't think Jeff's too good at rapping. I don't think Jeff could lay down 16 bars. But when it comes to every other aspect of being a psychopath, especially when you have children in the area, it's pretty much, it's pretty much the same thing. Sabrina Carpenter, winner of the night, the Grammys. Sabrina Carpenter. You want to name anyone else who slayed better? Go ahead, argue with me. It wasn't Beyoncé. She looked good, but Sabrina Carpenter looked better. It wasn't Taylor Swift. She looked good too, but Sabrina Carpenter looked better. I said it last year. I'll say it again. It's Sabrina's year. She won the Grammy. She looked good. Her performance was killer. Her speech was killer. Everything about Sabrina Carpenter is just, it's perfect. What better way can you explain this girl? What better way, other than she's a perfect little princess, can you explain Sabrina Carpenter? Because I don't think you can find one. And when you put this picture up in front of me, I don't know how I'm supposed to decide who to be more obsessed with. This might be the ultimate picture. This might be the photo of 2025 thus far, because you not only have the OG, the original beauty, the Disney Channel, coming from the Disney Channel sitcom to Grammy-winning pop star queen OG herself, still sexy as ever in her prime, Miley Cyrus, standing next to the now next generational queen of the Disney Channel from Boy Meets Girl Meets World into the pop star music scene, winning Grammys yet again, Sabrina Carpenter. This photo, I mean, eat your heart out, boys.
What are we doing?
God damn. I mean, talk about the winner of the night, okay? And if we're talking about the winners, we got to talk about the loser of the night. Unfortunately, it's Taylor Swift. We have to say it. It must be done. We're a Swiftie through and through, okay? Don't come for my head. But here's the ish. She didn't win, and I don't think she deserved it for the album anyways. And so, Taylor Swift, she looked good, and that's all that mattered, okay? Taylor in the red dress, now that's an era we like to see, okay? That part of the Eras Tour is what we've come for. This Taylor Swift, yes or yes. Am I right?
What are we doing?
And then, of course, Beyoncé took the night with not only finally giving Beyoncé the moment she deserved, Album of the Year. Okay, we're going to give her her flowers there. Congratulations, Album of the Year. Taylor Swift toasting Jay-Z. Of course. I mean, she finally, it's been long enough. She's been snubbed every other year, according to who you talk to. But at the end of the day, Cowboy Carter got her Grammy for Album of the Year. Now, is that to say that Beyoncé deserved a Grammy for, say, Country Album of the Year? I don't think so.
What are we doing?
And you know how I don't think so? Beyoncé didn't think so. I mean, look at the face. She was just as surprised as we were when we're announcing Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter for Best Country Album of the Year. I would venture to say, and this is a non-biased opinion, okay? Yes, we have the concert tickets for Philly. Yes, we know there's a show in Hershey. Yes, we were aware of that when we bought the Philly tickets, but guess what? We don't want to go to the Hershey show and see your dumbass there, so we're driving to Philly because they have better food anyways.
What are we doing?
Yes, Post Malone sent us the Oreos the day before they hit the shelves, so we have at least 6 packs in a case downstairs, full review coming soon. As soon as I'm done consuming 1 to 3 packs, I'll let you know how they are. Spoiler alert, they're delish. But dare I say, Post Malone, my opinion's not that biased, should have maybe had, definitely had a better country album. If we're even putting them in the realm of pop stars going country, I think if we're putting Post Malone versus Beyonce head to head, which pop star had a better country album, I would say it's Posty all day.
What are we doing?
But even she was surprised at the fact that Beyonce finally won her Country Album of the Year awards. Congratulations, Beyonce. Finally done did it. Congrats, Jay-Z. It's not a coincidence that the country Cowboy Carter era's like multi-city tour was just announced a few days ago. Not a coincidence at all. Congratulations, Beyonce. And so then, of course, the only other notable situation that we would obviously need to discuss from the Grammys 2025 is, in fact, the fact that Mr. Kendrick Lamar walked away with all 5 wins from the song Not Like Us.
What are we doing?
5 Grammys for the diss track Not Like Us. And so the fans are handling this in one of 2 ways. One, they're calling for the unliving himself of Drake because, I mean, can you imagine? Let's just think on both sides for a minute because, you know, in this podcast, we're not left or right. We're directly in the middle because we just want everybody to have fun, okay? And if that's not what it's all about, then we've lost the narrative.
What are we doing?
So think about this for a minute. If Kendrick Lamar writes a diss track about you and then he immediately goes to win 5 Grammys from said song, 1 song, not an album, but a diss track towards Drake, allegedly claiming things about him and his life that inevitably resulted in one of the biggest rap beefs that most of us has probably seen in our lifetime. Kendrick Lamar, Drake, we've got a lawsuit now, hundreds of millions of dollars, defamation, the label, Spotify, Not Like Us, Family Matters. I mean, to do that and then to go on national television and have the song being played with every other artist in the room singing and dancing and just, they're not like us. They're not like us. We've got Taylor Swift mouthing, singing along to the song, hitting the line we all know she shouldn't say. It's probably A minor. Like, we now have full confirmation. If last night's show didn't tell you one thing and one thing only, it is that next Sunday, Kendrick Lamar will 100% be performing Not Like Us.
What are we doing?
At the Super Bowl. He will 100% be playing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl, and that was the biggest speculation. That's why Drake started the lawsuits. That's why this whole thing started. That we all thought there's no way Kendrick Lamar had the balls. Apple Music backed him. Jay-Z backed him. The Grammys now backed him. There's no way that he can legally, doubt it, probably, but there's no way he should be allowed to go on national television, the Super Bowl, the most #1 broadcasted show on the planet every year, and say these things that he has said and accusing Drake and people on his team and everything else that has inspired since the beef on national television at the Super Bowl until right now. until right now when he's got every major recording artist in the room singing along, dancing, and celebrating the fact that Not Like Us just won 5 Grammys. Mustard!
What are we doing?
You know what I mean? Squabble up, Drake, because the response, so on the other side, right, we got to look at it from the other side, is everyone's now pointing out to Drake's Family Matters line where basically he says, Kendrick just opened his mouth, someone better go hand him a Grammy right now. The only issue is I don't think Drake expected them to hand Kendrick 5 Grammys.
What are we doing?
So to rebuttal the 5 Grammys news this morning, Drake has now officially announced the long-awaited, I think potentially delayed, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think potentially long-awaited Party Next Door collab album. Guess what? That's coming February 14th. So again, in a little over about 10 days, we're going to get a Drake album with Party Next Door titled Some Sexy Songs for You. And presumably a February sexy songs. It's going to have a lot of emotion, R&B, soul to it for the Valentine's Day holiday. Is that going to be enough to combat the news that Kendrick just won 5 Grammys for the Not Like Us diss track? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. We'll see, but something tells me this collab album with Party Next Door isn't going to have the bangers on it that Drake needs to hit that extra high virality level to get him over that Not Like Us hump. I don't think this is it, so we'll be on the lookout. Catch us in a few weeks when we have full time to digest the new Drake and Party Next Door album. So we'll see. We'll see. So listen, I'm always trying to secure funds, not only for business endeavors and personal things, but right now, for those of you who don't know, something very exciting is happening. Basically, we all got lucky in the sense that from the year 2020, 2021, and 2022, and I'm pretty sure 2023, I think is the range. It's something in that span. It's about 3 or 4 years. Tekashi 6ix9ine didn't pay his taxes.
What are we doing?
I think he might have been quoted saying like in 2018, he paid the IRS like $6 million in taxes from all of his success and his gang involvement in the rap community.
Addressing the IRS situation. Listen, a lot of y'all don't understand how this shit work because y'all not on that tax bracket, right? What happened was that I didn't report my taxes for 2020, 21, 22, and 23. Those years, I done paid $6 million, $2 million in 2018, $1.3 million 2019. For the year of 2020, I'm at $1.8 million. Over $6 million went to the IRS. Like I said, when you make over a certain amount of money, I think they tax you in the state of New York 54%.
So like after that, he thought in his head like that was enough and maybe probably he didn't have to pay any more taxes. And so, unfortunately, that's not the case. And now, in order to pay all of those taxes back and all of that money he owes for those last 4 or 5 years of taxes and all the money he's been making, the IRS has now seized and will be auctioning off Tekashi 6ix9ine's most prized possessions, aka all of his jewelry. And I don't know about you guys, but there is a diamond-studded shark necklace made after Bruce from Finding Nemo. My son loves the movie, loves Bruce, the character. Diamond-studded with rainbow teeth. Let me see if I can find a photo. Here's the photo of the necklace. This thing, I found the original post when 6ix9ine got the necklace. Of course, if I'm going to spend this kind of money on a piece of jewelry for myself, I'm going to obviously do the research. That's how you know I'm, excuse me, a little gassy, but also very serious about buying Tekashi 6ix9ine's necklace.
What are we doing?
this necklace originally was appraised and quoted out at, I think, over $120,000. The shark emblem alone was 80 grand. So not to mention the chain and the diamonds on that holding the shark. We're putting our best efforts values at about $100,000 to $120,000. Now, luckily for us, the IRS, as you can see right here, has put a starting bid price on said diamond studded necklace at about 60 grand. And to me, folks, that is the direct definition of a good deal. And so I'm doing my best to secure 60K. And when it comes down to the start of said auction, I'm ready. I want the necklace. I'm doing my best. I got Paul on the phone right now to try to get us 60 grand. I might be taking out like a home equity line of credit here or something to secure the funds, because this necklace, I feel like, is something I need in my life. Can you imagine? Look at me. Look at my, just imagine. I'll put it in digitally. Ready? Look. Just imagine me right here on this podcast with that chain on. I mean, I'd be killing it. I'd be like this. Oh man. Oh, that chain. I see it on me now and it looks fucking sick, dude. I mean, for 60 bands at half the price, not too many people are going to want this. I think I need to do it. I'm going to put the starting bid at 65,000, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it at 60,000, start at 65,000, and hopefully win this Bruce Shark Diamond Tekashi 6ix9ine. I mean, look at, there's a bunch of other pieces he has. So I'm ready. I might bid on a few other things. He's got some watches on there. So if anyone would like to donate to the cause and help pay, support this podcast and our efforts in purchasing Tekashi 6ix9ine's jewelry collection, I would love some help in being able to afford at least one, if not multiple pieces. I mean, it's ice, bro. It's that iced out avalanche. You know what I mean? It's that Migo shit. It's that chain. Megs just said I needed a chain. Megs just said we were at some fancy schmancy bar with some cute bartender who had nice frilly hair and some fancy fake glasses that he put on every other drink he made. And he had a chain and a Henley on. And Megs was like, "Oh, he's hot. You should get a chain too." And I'm like, you know what? You're probably right. I would be kind of hot at this age, in my style, with my current vibe, with a chain. And so when I saw this listing for the T6ix9ine chain with the shark and my son, he loves Finding Nemo, I knew this was the time. This was it. I had to make this purchase. I mean, folks, the glasses on my fucking face cost $13,000.
What are we doing?
So if anything, if the glasses on my face, if anything, I need the glasses paired with the Tekashi chain, and then maybe like, I'm thinking like a Tony Hinchcliffe style blinged out belt buckle. I'm going to have to look on the T6ix9ine auction to see if he has any belt buckles. If Tekashi has a belt buckle on the auction, I might get that too. If not, I might call our comedian friend Tony Hinch and get his hookup for whoever buys his big ass, look at me, I live in Texas, belt buckles. Because I think to complete my ambiance of really expensive accessories, the chain comes next. And then I think I need one more thing. Maybe a ring. Maybe instead of a belt buckle from Tony Hinch, I need a ring or something we'll figure it out. Stay tuned. Part 2 coming soon. We'll figure it out. Once we get the funds and the auction wrapped up and everything secured with T6ix9ine's Bruce chain, we'll figure something else out and we'll make it happen. You know what I mean? Maybe a new pair of glasses to go with the chain. I don't know. I'm just saying 2025, we're blinging out. We're blinging in 2025. Okay. So, and I mean, speaking of Tekashi 6ix9ine, we've got a rap beef already this year, and it's not the continuation of Drake and Kendrick. I mean, I'm talking a whole new rap beef to kick off the year. Now, I know a lot of people probably even Carla's. I don't even think the 280 Plus podcast knows anything about this rap beef. That's how quick we are to the scene with our news here at the Wad Pod. We've got people deep inside. I mean, if any one of my friends would know about a rap beef happening in 2025, it'd be Lowe's. It'd be the 280 Plus podcast. It'd be someone else other than me. But guess what? It's me, baby.
What are we doing?
I'm here to tell you that we've got the first 2025 rap beef underway. We didn't expect it, but we've now got none other. Now everyone knows the rap beef from 2024. Drake and Kendrick, we've already talked about it. You see the pattern of this episode, you know what I mean? This is how we do it now. So it's you know, some would argue that Drake and Kendrick's rap beef isn't over until the lawsuits are done. Some would argue his rap beef isn't over until the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? There's numerous lawsuits. And so, but basically, we're not getting any more diss tracks. I don't think we're getting any more diss tracks from Kendrick and or Drake's side of the beef. So what we need now is two new rappers to come in and basically start feuding to the point where we get new music from each one. Because as far as my research shows, we haven't got new music from either of these artists. And I'm talking about none other than Soulja Boy and Bad Baby.
What are we doing?
Now, for the Zoomers and most of the Gen Zers who don't know who these rappers are, let me explain. You'll know Soulja Boy from probably the only one hit single, Crank That. There's a dance. Your parents probably know it. All millennials should know exactly who Soulja Boy is. And then Bad Baby, a little bit newer to the scene, but still a millennial-based generation rapper. She didn't start out that way. She started out as a troubled teenager on the Dr. Phil show. She got a little mouthy, and based on that mouth and her singularity catchphrase, "Cash Me Outside," aka let's go outside and fight, for those of you who still don't understand, she started a merch line, she sold some hoodies, and now Bad Baby, who she calls herself, I think her name was Danielle. Now we're not allowed to call her that. If you do, there's an issue. You're going to have beef with her. And Soulja Boy, Bad Baby from Dr. Phil, and Soulja Boy are now beefing. Okay, and it all started when Bad Baby said Soulja Boy was sleeping with somebody he shouldn't have been sleeping with or doing something. Travis Barker's daughter, Alabama's involved. Travis Barker, the drummer, yes, that's who we're talking about. I mean, it's literally one of the newest, freshest rap. I mean, just take it. Hey. Don't take my word for it. Listen up.
She was pregnant by Tiger, and she was fucking on Soulja Boy.
Bad Baby, you cracking. Why the fuck you got my name in your mouth for? Ain't your baby daddy beating the fuck out you every day? Don't you got black eyes every time you go live? Don't you wanna be a fake black girl? Ain't you been culture virtual on our culture? Ain't you was at my house in Malibu trying to suck my dick?
What are we doing?
Oh, Soulja Boy. Listen. So what's happening here? There was only a smidge of a clip in the beginning. Bad Baby's claiming that Soulja Boy, I think Soulja Boy had an affair / slept with Travis Barker's daughter, Alabama, when she was maybe with somebody else, I think is the full beef explained. And so now Soulja Boy is claiming defamation. He's claiming that Bad Baby was at his house trying to jump on his shit. Like, this is serious stuff. So I'm expecting one, if not multiple songs. If we don't get one, Soulja Boy needs to drop a song right now. You know Soulja Boy is coming with them freestyles like every other weekend. He needs to drop it. He needs to drop a freestyle right now.
Ain't you was at my house in Malibu trying to suck my dick? And I said no. So you mean to tell me because I ain't let you suck my dick, you mad? You get on this internet lying on my name? Now when I sue your little stupid bitch and take that little OnlyFans money you got, then I'm wrong, right? Sit your ass down somewhere, you little fuck is wrong with you? Before I beat your ass like your mother. Hey, I'm finna sue your stupid ass for defamation of character. I want 10 million.
I love it.
Cash. So stop getting on the fucking internet, lying on my name, speaking on my name. You not black. You don't belong in this culture. Now leave our motherfucking culture alone. Keep my motherfucking name out your mouth. Fuck wrong with you, ho?
Oh my God.
You do not know me. I do not know you. You came over my house one time in Malibu. You tried to suck my dick.
Yes.
I told you no.
Double down.
What are we doing?
Man, I ain't none of these other rap. Try to suck my dick. I was like, hold on. Oh, you tripping? What you doing? She talking about, huh? Went on the internet lying on me. I'm not every.
He said, she tried to suck my dick, and I'm like, what are you doing? She said,
Try to suck my dick. I was like, hold on. Oh, you tripping? What you doing? She talking about, huh? Went on the internet lying on me.
Yes.
I'm not every rap.
Get her, soldier.
I think you can't just fuck on me just cause you cause you got some followers, you got a name or something. Fuck you. I ain't gotta fuck you if I don't want to. I ain't gotta let you suck my dick.
Wow.
Stupid. Bad baby, you lie on my name again, it's gonna be problems for you.
It just doesn't stop.
Tell your motherfucking lawyers to be on the lookout. Pay me my motherfucking money. I'm suing your stupid. Defamation of character. I need 10 million cash. Don't never get on no internet talking about I fuck nobody. You don't know me, I don't know you, you don't know about me.
Oh my God, and that's it. That's Soulja Boy. So now we've got beef. So now I'm assuming Bad Baby's probably in the studio. Soulja Boy just needs to put a beat behind this video, and that was probably good enough for him as far as a diss track. But now we've got a defamation lawsuit. I mean, is that it? That's the move. That's the move for 2025, for 2026, and moving forward. If anyone says anything about you, not this podcast, because it's all in personal opinion of allegedly for entertainment purposes only. You can't sue me, but if anyone else says anything about you on the internet that isn't true, sue them for $10 million instantly.
What are we doing?
Get yourself a lawyer, call Morgan & Morgan or whoever you need to call, and get yourself a $10 million bag like Soulja Boy does. If you say something wrong about Soulja Boy, you're going to have to go to court for $10 million. So, I mean, this is good. This is good. It's a good start to 2025. We needed something to distract us from the Jason Baldoni, Blake Lively lawsuit. Man, listen, these two are just, it's not looking good. He just dropped the website. It's like the lawsuitinfo.com. There's an 800-page PDF on there of pretty much every text message, every video, every tweet is linked that this man could find to prove that he did not do anything wrong, to prove that this is all Blake Lively. And so this is all we have. Listen, we all know the timeline. We all know someone's lying, and we're all on one or potentially the opposite side of the other. Is it Blake Lively is the problem? Is Ryan Reynolds the problem? Is Justin Baldoni the problem? The court case isn't until next year. The court case isn't until 2026. And until then, we're going to have Blake and Ryan Reynolds trying to just try to get the whole thing thrown out. The New York Times article, the movie, It Ends With Us. And now the latest development is not only this lawsuit for It Ends With Us, but we've got news coming in that basically it's not looking good for the future career of Blake Lively because of this, and basically all of her past allegations and everything she's been through. No one wants to work with her.
What are we doing?
We've now have it on good authority that basically A Simple Favor 2, if you remember Simple Favor 1, starring Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, two incredible actresses. They killed it. We love that movie for them both. If you remember back then, their press tour didn't go the smoothest. There was drama involved there. So naturally now with A Simple Favor 2 has been filmed, has been edited, and has pretty much, not officially, but essentially has been shelved because when, in order for a company like Netflix or Studio or MGM or Amazon Prime or whatever movie studio they're shopping this film around to, they're going to have to invest in a press tour. And when you don't have a press tour, because Anna Kendrick hates the shit out of Blake Lively, especially because of the current happenings of this Justin Baldoni lawsuit, no one's going to buy A Simple Favor 2.
What are we doing?
No one's going to want to distribute this movie because you can't distribute a movie without a press tour, because without a press tour, you don't get online buzz, you don't get viral moments, you don't get eyeballs, you don't get seats and butts in the seats in the theaters, which result in no sales, which results in 0 streams, which results in a bad purchase by your movie production studio or company or streaming service. So of course, no one wants to buy A Simple Favor 2 thanks to all this drama with Blake. Now Ryan is being painted as the bad guy. I'm going to assume this lawsuit and everything Ryan Reynolds is doing with Blake Lively currently, if they do not get divorced, if Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds stay married through the lawsuit and through this inevitable mess that she, if not he, and if not them together, single-handedly created. If they do not get divorced, I am calling it now. This is the end of Ryan Reynolds in the MCU as Deadpool as we know it.
What are we doing?
I would not expect another Deadpool movie from Ryan Reynolds and Disney and Marvel Studios for the foreseeable future due to not only this lawsuit, but everything else surrounding it. The news, the New York Times article, Taylor Swift and her dragons, Blake Lively, the whole 9 yards. This is not going the way she planned, folks. Rest assured, Blake Lively in her head thought that when she said whatever she said, when she did whatever she did, when she lied, however she lied, however this all came about, whether it was Ryan Reynolds coming to the set first, whether it was a text message that she had to cover up from Justin, whether she caught feelings or not, whatever the actual narrative is, there's no way this doesn't end with a negative check on Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's careers in the movie industry. I mean, and listen, folks, the audio that Blake left, that Justin Baldoni left Blake Lively. Listen to this shit. If you heard that your wife got this video from a man who looks like this, and you found out that she got this audio from some guy that she was on a movie with, well, boy, oh boy. Listen, just listen to the start of it. Listen to this.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 a.m. Hopefully this does not wake you up.
What are we doing?
If my wife received a deep voice, especially with me and this voice I've got going on, if my wife received this deep, sexual, sensual voice memo on her phone at 2 a.m, and I'm Ryan Reynolds with $1 billion empire and a Mint Mobile Deadpool movie contract with Marvel Studios, I'm out the window. I'm livid. I'm over the moon. Who's that? Sending you voice memos, Blake. Because if I got this at 2 a.m. and I heard that voice and it was like, hey, Blake, I hope this doesn't wake you. My pants would be around, I'd be naked instantly. I would be on the phone asking what hotel room he's in currently, and I'd be right there. This sexy motherfucker drops a voice note that sounds like this, and you don't think Ryan Reynolds is suspicious of the relationship? Boy, oh boy, guess again.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 a.m. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Whew. Wow. there's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just gonna send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not gonna be more than a few minutes. But that I don't have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank. And
his heart sank when he found out he wasn't one of her dragons in the Game of Thrones conspiracy.
What are we doing?
It's a 7-minute long audio message of him basically just saying sorry, that he didn't mean whatever it was, that she had edits to the movie. She tried to make it her own. It wasn't her thing. And this is the other thing too. The movie was based on a book. And so when Baldoni made the movie about the book, Blake Lively tried to come in and change it. And he's like, hey man, this is a movie about a book. You can't change it. And she got all pissy about it. Now she's got Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds as her dragons. And it's just not, this is going to be, if it doesn't get thrown out, if Ryan Reynolds doesn't pay a shit ton of money to get the whole thing tossed out and forgotten about, this is going to be the next Amber Heard and Johnny Depp situation. It's a he said, she said at this point, and from the evidence and the website and the documents and the text message and the 7-minute long sexy as shit audio messages, it's looking like Blake said some things that weren't necessarily true to some people, and Justin is basically maybe a nice guy. I think the bad guy of the whole thing might be Ryan Reynolds.
What are we doing?
I don't know, man. It's messy, and I just hate that, like, why do we all know? I hate that we live in a society that we all know about it, and we all care so much to the point that we have Candace Owens dedicating hours and hours and hours of her life to the Reddit post and breaking it down and figuring out everything there is to know about the case and yada yada yada. I mean, it's this simple. It's this simple. The Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni case is this in a nutshell, okay? Supposedly, and this is all supposedly, we fact-checked most of this, it's pretty much all true. Supposedly, Blake felt that Justin made her uncomfortable on set. One instance in particular, they said, was that Justin told Blake she looked sexy in what she was wearing on set. Now, we don't know the context around that statement, but allegedly, this is what set off the whole fucking thing. And I don't know about you, but if I were a director / second lead, I don't know, maybe say like a Robert Pattinson, Edward Collins, Bella Swan, Twilight situation. And we saw Kristen Stewart come out and she was in her, whatever, sexy time, her honeymoon. They're filming the 3rd movie. It's the honeymoon scene. And she's like, hey, Rob, how do I look? And he's probably like, damn, Kristen, you look sexy. You look good. Good for you. We're going to kill this scene. I don't think there's ever been a time in history when we have seen two people be this close face to face together, because we have the back, the photos and the video from the behind the scenes from the movie. They're laughing. They're this close. They're friends. They're talking about their husband. They're talking about their wives. This clip. So I don't know what more evidence you need to understand the fact that, like, hey, maybe he was just trying to be extra super polite.
What are we doing?
Like, if I was on set and I was the director / leading the movie and my co-actor female lead came in and she was in an outfit that she was really nice and hair and makeup was really good, I'd be like, yep, dude, you're sexy. You're killing it. Let's go. Let's do the scene. We're going to knock this out. It's going to be literally, because of you and how you look and everything you're doing right now, it's going to be one of the #1 movies of the year. And so that's probably, I'd venture to guess, based on the website and the PDFs and the voice memo and everything else coming out about how Justin is probably innocent in this whole thing, that's probably how he meant she looked sexy on set.
What are we doing?
So then apparently Justin wasn't happy with the original editor's cut of the movie, so he hired his own team to do a version of the movie, but Blake wanted to do her own version of the movie. As a result, Sony, the producers and the company behind the movie, said no. Blake goes to Sony, threatens to go to the New York Times, the story that says Justin was sexually harassing her on set, if they didn't let her do her own version of the movie, which we know is true because Sony inevitably freaked out and says, okay, Blake, whatever you want, babe, you're a sexy bitch.
What are we doing?
Justin's banned from the Sony lot, not forever, just for the run of the movie, but, who knows how that's going to go. Blake Lively then hires Taylor Swift's music video editor to do her version of the movie while filming in Italy. And then Blake has friends and family screen the movie to get their thoughts with lots of A-listers. Ben Affleck, Bradley Cooper was there, etc., etc. And everyone was like, hey man, this movie doesn't make any sense.
What are we doing?
When you have A-list actors like Ben Affleck and Bradley Cooper, listen, to even get Bradley Cooper to step away from his cheesesteak restaurant in New York City to view your shitty movie is a big fucking deal. So the fact that you yanked Mr. Cooper away from making cheesesteaks for thousands of hungry citizens a day, he's now having to sit and screen your shitty Taylor Swift music video directed Hollywood production Sony Pictures movie, Blake Lively?
What are we doing?
Hey girl, that doesn't make sense. I'm hungry for a cheesesteak. Why would you put Bradley Cooper in that position? I wouldn't have gone. I would have said, I got cheesesteaks, Blake. I got to make cheesesteaks. If I was Bradley Cooper, I would have been like, no, I can't watch your stupid, shitty 2024 version of Twilight movie that you probably destroyed with the script yourself. I'm sorry. I'm busy making cheesesteaks, Blake.
What are we doing?
Blake realizes she needs to hire an expert film director and editor to fix it. Blake uses, again, someone else from her Dragons team, Taylor Swift, okay? She uses a Taylor Swift song in the movie, and the studio loves having it in there, of course, because it's a Taylor Swift song. She got the blessing. Taylor Swift finds out that the original composer for the movie is someone she worked with in the past, so that was mean to her, and says it's either me or him. Sony fires the composer of the movie and keeps the Taylor Swift song, and that's pretty much everything we know up until the point where both lawsuits are filed. Blake then talked to the New York Times back in December of 2024. She colluded with them. She gave them all of her details. They dropped a hit piece on Justin, and then Justin turns around and files a $400 million defamation lawsuit on Blake and Ryan Reynolds, and basically the entire Sony Productions thing for destroying his reputation as a director slash actor slash person in Hollywood. And I think that pretty much about sums it up.
What are we doing?
And that's it. And that's the drama. And that's all you need to know. And if you want to read the entire thing, you just have to go to Justin Baldoni's website and pretty much just read the entire 1,000-page court document that they uploaded. And that's pretty much it, That's pretty much it. If you don't, we won't know much else. Unless the lawyers are doing anything behind the scenes, we're not really going to probably know much else until the actual court date comes. And who will inevitably win the $400 million? Will it be Blake Lively in the New York Times, or will it be Mr. Director Justin Baldoni? I've been saying his name wrong this entire time, most likely, but at the end of the day, it's not his name that gets the clicks and likes. It's Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's show, and they're probably, honestly, maybe not going to win, but it just depends on how much money they decide to pump into the legal team that's running this whole thing. So listen, we've got so much more going on in the music industry, the movie industry. If you weren't excited for the news when they officially announced it last year. You should be excited for this last bit that we'll get through, is that the movie Now You See Me 3 has officially been done. It's wrapped filming. It's in the editing bay as we speak. And you can expect to see it, I think, later this year, if not early 2026. Now You See Me 3, which was never officially titled Now You 3 Me. And honestly, we can't see it because it's not titled Now You 3 Me. That was the only way we were going to give it a time of day. I mean, it's bad enough that we have Isla Fisher out here promoting the entire thing. But the fact that they did not name the movie Now You 3 Me is honestly, it's kind of a sin.
What are we doing?
And we don't like it. So Now You See Me 3, take a look.
See Me 3.
Fans
I
been
can't
waiting
give
for
anything
this.
away, but you're gonna love it.
Just a little something.
All the gang's back together.
That's-
And
oh,
there's
wow.
a lot of, you know what I love about this one particularly is that all of the magic is really grounded in reality. It's sort of back to the first one, and everything that you see us do as a team of magicians is done and can be done by real life magicians. So.
Oh, well, shit.
What are we doing?
Me, dude. I honestly thought that the third Now You See Me movie was going to be the same as the first two, and it was all going to be special effects and Hollywood movie magic. This one, listen to this. This movie, Now You See Me 3, they're doing real magic that can be done by real magicians and real life. So basically, they are going to be casting spells. They're going to be doing things that pretty much me and a select other few people on this planet can do, and that is actual witchcraft.
What are we doing?
So in this movie, they're going to have wands? Is that what she's saying? Because the only way that I know how to do real magic is when the cameras are off and I'm just downstairs and I'm doing my everyday life thing. I grab my wand out of my pocket and I swish and flick and I float the shit over there and I do this over here. And if dishes need done, I'm like, Wingardium Leviosa, and like, boom, bam, now my dishes are done. And so I guess now in the third movie, it's going to be a little bit confusing because in the past two movies, they were just like, you know what I mean? Like flipping cards on the back of their hand and like whoosh, whipping cards around the security of the building that they're trying to steal the money from and get into because it's a heist movie now and it has nothing to do with magicians, even though the first movie didn't, because it was just a test for them to get into the secret society of magicians that were actually just bank robbers that were stealing money from a bank for the betterment of the good of the people or something. I don't even know what the movies are about anymore, but it's not magic.
What are we doing?
Do they know magic isn't real?
What are we doing?
Am I the idiot?
Get out to Levi.
Like, am I the idiot? Am I the idiot to think that is magic's not real, right, guys? Like, we're not actually doing. Isla Fisher is on record saying that this
so
movie is going to be
reality.
so much.
It's back to the first.
She's saying that this movie
Reality.
is
It's
so
grounded
much
in
better.
really grounded.
Isla Fisher is now saying that this movie is so much better than the first two because this one, we're taking it back to basics and we're doing real life magic that real life magicians can do in real life.
Grounded in reality. It's sort of back to the first one, and everything that you see us do as a team of magicians is done and can be done by real life magicians.
We just saw Jesse
no
there.
trick photography.
Yeah.
Just finished
No trick photography, no nothing. Everything you're seeing in this movie is 100% real.
What are we doing?
So when you see Jesse Eisenberg on stage, because this one presumably, I'm going to give you the spoiler alert now because Hollywood is not that creative. I guarantee you, since we're going back to the roots of magic, this movie will start as like the team is disbanded. They all went their separate ways due to everything that happened in the last movie. and it'll be Jesse Eisenberg on stage as a magician. And
Now You See Me 3.
Shut the fuck up, Isla Fisher.
What are we doing?
He'll be on stage doing his thing, and he'll be sawing someone in half, and then there'll be 20 people in the audience with a 2,000 seat theater, and it'll be his friends from the Magic Society that they're all in, getting the band back together for one more heist or whatever the fuck they're gonna do this time. And then he's gonna actually cut someone in half. And what you think is actually just special effects and people at home, what you don't know is that the producers of Now You See Me 3 and Sony Pictures and the studios and everyone who produced this movie spent weeks and months and hours and days in interviewing people who were terminally ill. Okay, this is real. This is all in the article, the press release for Now You See Me 3. They found someone who was terminally ill, okay, and they used them as the saw me in half subject. And they told them, they're like, look, we're actually going to saw you in half. You will not survive this. Sign on the dotted line. Give us legal permission to saw you in half for our movie because we're not doing any special effects this year. And when we inevitably kill you, we will send a check for $400,000 to your family on top of whatever life insurance policy, a fee for your role in this movie. We'll send it to your family. You're terminally ill. You're going to die anyways. Why not die for the greater good of Hollywood? And your family's going to get an extra $400,000 when you go. So what they did was, for stunts that required the fate or embodiment, disembowelment of an actual human being, aka cutting someone in half on stage, they put a terminally ill guy in there. They sent his family a bunch of money, and they actually sawed a man in half. So this movie is going to be crazy. It's going to get wild. Isla Fisher, Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson. I swear to God, I said it a few months ago. I'll say it again today. If there's not at least a triple version of Woody Harrelson in Now You See Me 3 to continue the bit that every movie he gets one more version twin of himself, I'm walking straight out of the theater.
What are we doing?
If they don't include a Woody Harrelson and his twin brother and one more person that looks exactly like him, aka a third clone of Woody Harrelson, I'm walking out and I'm giving this movie a certified rotten 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm tanking the score. And you should too, because it's Now You See Me 3. And if we're already promising real magic by real magicians, I better see real blood coming out of the real life person you sawed in half, Isla Fisher, or I'm walking out and you're not getting the review you thought you were from this movie critic.
What are we doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Levi McCurdy. This has been another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. I hope you guys have an extraordinary week. We'll be back in 7 or less days with episode 176. If you haven't done so, like and subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button down below. Like my son would say, like and subscribe to Daddy's channel and everything will be okay. My name's Levi. I'm out of here. It's been a crazy week. Planes are falling out of the sky, and I can't fucking believe it. Let's go. We'll see you next time. It's the What Are We Doing podcast, everybody. Peace out.
What are we doing?